My name is Harry Mathis.
And my name is Mary Mathis.
My name is Joe Buniva.
We had a series of 3 break-ins over a 2-month period that, with this, the culmination of the earlier 2. And I think the Fort Knox and everything probably convinced them that we probably had a great deal of cash and maybe even gold. I checked with the official in the police department, and he said, just so you know, they'll probably decide that the only way they're going to get in that safe is through you, so watch your back. From then on, I started carrying a gun in my car. And that night when I came back, I pulled into the garage. I didn't see anything unusual. When I got out of the car, these 2 fellows rushed me, knocked me down, and they were yelling, "Where's the cash? Where's the money?" You know, and then I realized, money? Is that what this is all about? There were 2 of them. The second man went past and got inside the house.
He came and grabbed me by the arm and swung me around, and I fell on the floor.
But I had a gun in my belt, and I made a decision right then and there that I was going to protect myself. But I didn't have a target because he was behind me on the top of me. So I thought, well, the garage door is still open. I got to shoot the gun. Put it up in front of me like this and fired 2 quick shots.
Pop! I look over directly to their house and I hear, pop!
He heard the gunshots and he didn't think twice. He responded and he went there right away.
I didn't realize how significant those shots were.
Mr. Mathis actually tried to shoot Mr. Dusson and his gun jammed.
Once he realized that, then the struggle was for the gun, and it got pretty violent. And he was hitting me on the head with, I think, a gun butt of his own. But I had blood streaming down my face. I decided I've got to stay conscious, and I can't let him do any permanent damage. So I gave up the gun.
I walked quickly over to their house, and they have a door where they have a window on top of the door, and there were shadows that were much larger than Harry and Mary. I started pounding on the door.
And I looked down the hall, and then I saw Joe Buniva.
They said, get in the house, get on the floor.
It really upset their whole planning, having Joe in there.
Because they had to watch Joe and Harry. The only thing I could think of was, I've got to get back to our bedroom where we have our panic button.
They said, where's the money? Where's the money? We're going to torch the house. Where's the money?
Mary didn't really have the combination of that safe. I was the only one that could open it. So they took me back. I was partially blinded by the blood streaming down my face.
I'm telling them, listen, the man can't see.
So I was having a great deal of difficulty seeing the dial. The younger one was standing there just outside the safe with a gun pointed at my head.
I heard them say, shoot him if he doesn't open the safe. I thought, well, I've got to move now.
They felt that Mary was out of the picture because they kind of pushed her off in the bathroom.
So I slipped out of the bathroom and went in and hit the panic button.
The alarm went off, and she did it in such a way that they didn't know how it happened.
They started jumping because they hear these alarms, bells.
I heard them shout, shut it off, shut it off. What's the code? And I said, once it gets started, you can't stop it. Things went into high gear at that point.
They commanded us to go into the bathroom.
Then it got quiet. They said, don't come out.
They were trying to blow up the house while they were inside there. They turned on the gas burners.
So I opened the door of the bathroom and looked down the hall, and sure enough, there was a fire burning in the kitchen.
And it was like a team. Mary immediately went to 911.
Joe and I went running down there to put out fire. And I went to the garage door, and I looked in the garage, and here's this guy, and he's got a rag in my gas tank, and he just set it on fire. And when he saw me, he yelled, get back.
If that car went off, the entire neighborhood probably would have been shaking.
So I had heard sirens, and I knew that help was on the way. By that time, they jumped in the car and were driving off.
I said to myself, well, I think that's good enough for being a good neighbor.
On the day of trial, Mr. Dusson pled guilty without any deals from us. Mr. Mathis came to the sentencing, and he stared Mr. Dusson down, and he was compassionate.
My wife and I did not come here to heap scorn on you for what you did to our lives. Rather, we came to offer you a message of hope should your eyes be opened by what I have to say. We applaud your decision to plead guilty to all charges, which we hope signifies an acceptance of your past mistakes. Even though you're going to jail for a long time, if not the rest of your life, to at least try to make amends and find salvation. We came here to offer you hope.
He wanted him to give up his, the other assailant, which Mr. Duson has never done, and he went away for 93 years to life in state prison.
From my perspective, the two really heroes in this whole episode were Mary for having the courage to come out and hit that panic button while they were distracted, because she really put herself at risk doing it, and Joe for coming in the way he did.
I feel I did what I had to do.
Joe came in there voluntarily. He put himself at risk on our behalf. Joe being there made it possible for Mary to trip the alarm. That was a miracle. It really was.
They had a lot of dignity and grace to them in the crime itself. You know, they stood up and cared for each other, and that's not surprising given who they are.